up, though. It'll be a mixing of city and county folk this weekend and a taste of culture. If you live in the northwest area of Leicestershire or are planning to visit that part of town, you'll be interested in this. There's a very special event taking place in the village of Thringstone tomorrow afternoon. It's a festival of Leicestershire's heritage. It'll be bringing cross-cultural heritage into the village, from African drumming to an Asian dance troupe, plus much more. Tom Waters is the business manager at the Charles Booth Centre in Thringstone, one of the organisers, and joins us now. Tom, thanks for taking the time, mate. Tell us what you've got planned.
Jack, thank you very much indeed for having me on. Probably the most important thing I need to say is that it's not this weekend, it's next. We've actually got a private wedding this weekend at the centre. So I think that we should make sure that everybody knows it's the Saturday the 18th between 2 and 6.
Don't want people crashing that wedding, certainly.
We don't want people crashing the wedding. We're just getting over all the social distancing restrictions, and the last thing they need is a carnival troupe turning up, although it could make for quite a party. No, so we've got a fantastic opportunity, really, to take a fairly sleepy rural part of northwest Leicestershire that has historically been dominated by the mining and rural culture, and actually bring some of the vibrant Leicestershire heritage and culture out to the village. And exactly like you said, we are absolutely blessed that as a result of a collaboration between some community leaders such as Creative Futures and Pot to Plot and the AAA Foundation and a large heritage lottery grant, we have got this fantastic opportunity to have carnival, to have drumming, to have jerk chicken, traditional Indian Gujarati cooking, old world photography, and just a whole afternoon of brilliant family fun that's all free for everybody to come and participate in.
Tom, you're going to have me belly rumbling. I've only had a couple of Weetabix this morning. It doesn't sound good when you can hear that rumbling in the background. I mean, tell us why you were so keen to do this, particularly in Thringstone.
Yeah, well, community is my passion, and I've been very, very fortunate over the last sort of 6 or 7 months to meet a whole series of other very, very passionate community leaders, a lot of whom are based in the city of Leicester. And from a lot of the discussions that we've had together, it's become more and more obvious to me that two things need to happen. One, we need to make sure that rural Leicestershire is embracing the much larger Leicester urban culture, which has got a much more diverse background, and therefore it's got all of this rich heritage to bring. And that secondly, when community leaders get together and actually collaborate, they can make a huge amount of difference. We're all in it to make everybody's lives better, happier, and more enriched. And this is just a fantastic opportunity to bring BAME culture, if I'm honest, to a very, very white part of Leicestershire, and to let people realise that there's so much more out there and that they can get involved in, and they're just going to get a really small taste of it here. And we've been delighted that we're going to be supported so well. We've got the local MP, Andrew Bridgen, for North West Leicestershire. He's coming to support us. The new Police and Crime Commissioner, Rupert Matthews, is coming out. The Director of the Violence Reduction Network, Grace Strong, she's coming. And we've got a whole series of funders and the Heritage Lottery people. And it should just be an amazing opportunity to share some culture, and eventually we want to bring some of the rural culture back into the city and do it the other way around as well.
Well, I find that so fascinating, because it does seem slightly bonkers that there is still such a disparity between city and county life.
That's absolutely true, and you don't have to go back all that far to look at what used to be the primary forms of employment, particularly in rural Leicestershire, and it was farming. And it was mining. And as a result of that, the communities were quite small, and they didn't necessarily have as large a crossover between our Asian and Black communities as some of the more urban areas did. And I think that this is just a fantastic opportunity. We've actually got some representatives of a ladies, Muslim and Islamic rounders team coming out on the day as well. And it's just that fantastic opportunity to say to people, Thringstone's great, the countryside's amazing, the people are lovely, but Leicestershire is so much bigger. And if we look at our sort of county, our county capital, they've got such a huge and sort of diverse culture that they can draw on. And we just want to tap in.
Talk to me about, it's funded, isn't it, by the Heritage Lottery Fund. Talk to me a bit about that and how crucial that money can be.
It's crucial. This, in its simplest form, this would not be happening if it wasn't for the relationship that some of our partners have built. There's a gentleman called Liam Hadrapeju who runs a a series of allotments down in the centre of Leicester called Pot to Plot. They were actually on East Midlands Today a couple of nights ago, and he's built through a huge amount of hard work some fantastic relationships with some of the large heritage lottery grant funders, and they've been able to help us from a financial point of view, not only with the food and the transport, but just the logistics of getting everything out there. Because as small charities, we're a charitable community centre. The AAA Foundation are a small charity in their own right. We're used to sort of fighting for a couple of £1,000s here and there, and you simply cannot do events of this scale and bring entire communities together without having a huge amount of input from the really big funders. And this event would not be taking place without them.
And you touched upon it before, actually. You were saying about embracing culture and different heritage that you get from the city, but actually, you want to in the future show off and be proud of what you guys do in Thringstone and show that off to the rest of the county and the city.
Absolutely. Well, this is the opportunity to bring the city to the county. But going forward, we've got a massive amount to offer. There's people who sort of really understand better the way the ecosystems work. We're part of the National Forest here. We've got amazing woods. We've got ruins. We want to make sure that the city can come out and enjoy all of the sort of facilities that rural Leicestershire have got. Coval as a town is having a large injection of cash going into it to make it more dynamic. And we want to make sure in the same way as we're keen to be closer to Leicester as a city, we want Leicester to know they've got all of this on their doorstep. National cloud cycle trails, huge amounts of woodlands, beautiful water parks, and come and enjoy it.
Tom, remind us where and when it's happening.
Okay, most importantly, so it is happening on Saturday, the 18th of September. It's between 2 and, if it's going really well, it could be as late as sort of 7 or 8 o'clock, but 2 till 6. And it's taking place at the Charles Booth Centre, which is a community centre in the village of Thringstone. And our postcode is LE67 8N for November, R for Romeo. And we would just love everybody to come, enjoy the day, bring your family, sample some amazing food, enjoy the drumming. There's wood whittling, old world photography, a bit of carnival dancing. I think we've mentioned the jerk chicken, but it's going to be so good, I'm going to mention it again. We've got jerk chicken. It's just going to be a fantastic day.
Tom, thank you very much. Yeah, next Saturday. Don't be turning up tomorrow, otherwise you'll be crashing a wedding. Tom Waters, business manager at the Charles Booth Centre in Thringstone. Thanks for your time, mate. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, Jack. Take care.